What's going on, guys? So I went ahead and I picked up this 12-gallon Hercules OSHA compliant dust extractor, certified HEPA filters. There's 2 filters in there. It's a dual filter vacuum, 6.5 peak horsepower, 17-foot hose. I'm thinking I might put this thing up on my roof, or on my ceiling, I mean. But for now, I think I'm just gonna store it under the table and just use the hose wherever I need it, which is great because before I was using this small one, and now if I had to cut on the table with my circular saw, I had to hook it up right here, and then if I wanted to use it on my miter saw, I had to move it over there. Which is the good thing about this. It's huge. It's got the 17-foot hose. I can leave it there, and really that hose will reach across my garage or wherever I need it. This one, I got it from Walmart. It was probably about, I want to say $30 to $50. It's a 3-gallon, 3.5. It did the job. It works great. The little hooks on this, on the vacuum head, they started getting loose like within a couple months. So I had to put some tape on there, if you guys can see that. I had to put some tape on there so it could be tight. And then another thing about this vacuum, guys, I couldn't find the bags that fit this one. Now I got a bunch of, I tried a bunch of different branded ones, see if they would fit. Nothing fit. I mean, like I said, guys, this one's good for the time being, but needed an upgrade for sure. So I don't know what I'm gonna be doing with this one, guys. If you guys got a recommendation for what I should do with it, let me know. But nonetheless, let's get it cracking, guys. Let's get it unboxed. Owner's manual and safety instructions. Keep that around. The big bad boy himself. I don't know what this is. We'll find out in just a second. This and the vacuum attachment, so you could go ahead and vacuum your whole floor if you really need to, which is sick. All right, just getting the feel of it right here. It's super smooth. The big wheels in the back really help it roll around real easily. And then obviously these guys that swivel just make it that much more smooth. So, also just right off the bat, it's got a adjustable suction adjuster. So you can go from little suction to hella suction. Got the power. Oh, I could hook up some tools. I could hook up something with not crazy amount of voltage to this, and it'll get it cracking. And I could turn this on so I could get power to here or not. As you guys see, all of my stuff is battery, so I wouldn't really need that. But it might come handy in the future, right? So let's see how to open this thing up. Latch, latch. Guys, check it out. Dual HEPA filters. They claim to pick up 99.97% of the particulates in the air, which is nice. Keep yourself healthy, keep yourself dust free. Inside, I got all these attachments right here. I got the cool little thin attachment there. Don't know what that is. I'll figure it out. Oh, it's the brush attachment. Sorry, it's the brush. Got a little bag for my attachments. Very nice. Thank you, Harbor Freight. And the 17-foot long hose, which is amazing, non-static. I don't know. I might replace that. I hear a lot of people saying that these hoses aren't super durable because it's just that hard plastic. I might try to find something with like a cloth lining or just a replacement that would fit this thing would be great. Obviously, trying to keep it at 17 feet or longer. Got this other attachment here. And last but not least, got the dust bag. All right, so this dust bag opens up just like this. Goes right inside. I'll show you guys in just a second. But this little gasket here wraps around the insert. All right. I'm just gonna go ahead and put this in here right now. And just like that, just like that. Goes right over this little nozzle. And then your double filters would sit right here, all right? So next, let's get this thing attached and hooked up. And I'm assuming it's just like that. Yep. Beautiful. All right. Now these attachments go just like this. All right, so I'd have this one if I need it. Got the brush one. This will be cool for if you're sanding and you need to get all the dust sand off of your piece. You know, just brush that piece off, clean it up while the vacuum's running. Beautiful. Very beautiful attachment there. Last but not least, the vacuum attachment. This is super sick right here. All right, so these go just like this. Oh, and you can vacuum your floor. Get all that dust off. This is a beautiful attachment right here, guys. Check it out. These guys really thought about every single thing that this would need. It's got the brushes on here, so it could brush on your floor. It's vacuuming at the same time. Obviously, I can adjust the suction. If I'm going on the floor, I'm going full. For things like sanding or whatever, you might adjust it. But this is amazing. Hercules really thought this out. I don't have a Festool one to go ahead and compare to. But this is a steal, guys. Also, it's got the automatic filter cleaning. So I heard that it makes like a beep when it cleans them. So, which is real cool. You don't have to be constantly cleaning your filters. But this is super amazing. I'm super geeked. I'm excited. These brushes are super cool. They're like, yeah, amazing. Got the rubber one on the back. Super cool, guys. Got the wheels on it, so it could just roll. Amazing. Another super cool thing about this, guys, is it has the storage for the vacuum arm pieces. So basically, inside there, it's got these little divots that feed into this, and you could just store these right up in there. Super cool. Put this guy right up in there, and they stay down, they stay secure. And this guy can just go right up in there just like that. Stays right up in there. Amazing. It's got these dual latches for you to go ahead and, you know, pull this around if you really need to. Go ahead and lock it up if you want to. Probably leave it down because I'm going to be putting it under my table, and I'll just be pulling that hose wherever I need it. All right, so I'm ready to fire it up. I want to do a comparison from my new Hercules to my old Walmart Hyper Tough 3.5 gallon shop vac. All right, so let's try it out. Fire it up. That's the small suction right there. That's only a little bit, which is nice. You see that? And notice that it's pretty quiet. All right, so let's check out comparison to this guy right here. It's a lot louder. The suction is about the same. The low mode suction on the Hercules is stronger than this non-adjustable suction, which is amazing. I'm gonna try it out on the full suction right here. Oh yeah. So not only is it way more powerful, but it's also a lot quieter. All right, guys. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna test run both vacuums on my circular saw, ripping down a long piece of one of my legs from my planters. The reason I'm gonna do it with my circular saw is because that is the most dust productive tool that I have. So guys, as you can see, my regular vacuum, it does still produce a lot of dust, even with it hooked up to my circular saw, only because my circular saw is throwing the dust forward and in a downward position. So it is hard to get 100% of dust collection on the circular saw, but nonetheless, let's try it on the Hercules. So it wasn't much of a difference, as you guys saw. It partially could be because my table on my circular saw is so low, and all this dust is going towards the downward and forward rather than being picked up into the system. All right, guys. Next, I'm gonna be testing out the suction on the miter saw. So I got my Hyper Tough vacuum hooked up right now. I'm gonna go ahead and make a cut real quick. All right, here goes the Hyper Tough. All right, next, let me hook up the Hercules. All right, the Hercules was cool. It's almost the same thing, guys. It didn't leave as much dust on the miter saw as the Hyper Tough did. All right, guys, so as you saw, that was the difference between the new Hercules 12-gallon, 6.5 horsepower peak to the Hyper Tough 3.5 gallon, which it's only got 3.5 peak horsepower. So this one here costed me $350. I believe that they upped the price. When I first heard about them, they were going for $299. I got this for $349.99. I think it is a steal, guys. I think it's completely worth it. Even though the suction on my certain tools was not a huge difference, there is a difference in the particles that you can't even see in the air. So, which I'm all for, right? But this thing, for it being $350 with a dual HEPA filter on it, even being HEPA rated, you know, you could buy a big old vacuum that doesn't have a HEPA rating on it, which is fine, but you know, the HEPA is always a lot better for you guys because it is going to be suctioning all up that little super fine particle dust that you cannot see in the air. Another good pointer for this is it does got the automatic filter cleaning, because you always want to keep those filters clean, guys. If your filter gets all clogged up, it's basically useless. So that's a great feature on this Hercules, guys. It automatically cleans it for you, so you don't even have to worry about it. This goes on as it's going, and it cleans those out for you. Another great feature that a lot of dust extractors don't have is the tool attachment. So you could just hook up a tool to this thing, and you know, this could be a power source as well. You always want to make sure that this thing is hooked up to a good power source. You don't want a weak power source, and then you go ahead and hook up the tool, and then you're gonna blow your fuse. Another great feature, like I mentioned before, guys, is the hose. I love the long hose on this because I could just leave it under my table, drag the hose wherever I need to. Also, I could put the actual vacuum attachment on it, which is amazing. I won't really have to sweep no more in my shop, which was a killer, guys. I hated doing that after my sessions because I do park cars in this garage, and you know, I try to keep it as clean as possible. You know, and in something like this definitely will do the job, because I know a lot of you guys may not have a big old setup. You know, I don't even have a big old setup. You know, my table is makeshift right here with the sawhorses and a piece of plywood. So I'm sure a lot of you can relate to me. I don't have a $1 million shop, but this is what carried me throughout this whole way, guys. Is this 3-gallon Hyper Tough vacuum from Walmart. Like I mentioned, it was $30 to $40. But like I mentioned also before, some of these clips were just coming apart after a couple months. But it did the job, like I mentioned, guys. So all power to the Hyper Tough. If you guys want to grab one of these, you know, it'll help you out a lot. It's gonna help you out with, like I mentioned, cleanup. Because if you're like me and you park a car in your garage, you know, I try to clean up after every session every day. So this helps a lot. You know, it just keeps a bunch of dust off the floor. You're still gonna have dust on the floor, but you know, these options here help a lot with the cleanup. So I'm just gonna keep this guy down here. I don't know what I'm gonna do with him. But yeah, guys, like I mentioned, this thing rolls around beautifully with the big old tires. You know, if you got like a hose or creases in the concrete in your garage, this thing will go right over them. There's my review for the Hercules brand new 12-gallon HEPA rated OSHA compliant dust extractor. They don't even call it a vacuum, it's called a dust extractor. Because of the HEPA features that it's got, it's suctioning 90 almost 100% of the dust. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate you. See you guys on the next one. Later.